Whenever we start preparing for any exam, there is always an element of self-doubt. We start finding answers to questions such as, can a student from arts background like me clear this exam? A fresher would think, would they give preference to experienced candidate, or would they also consider fresher? A work experienced candidate would think that how would I justify going to RBI after spending 3 years in IT? A person with gap years would have his own set of doubts, and the list goes on. The list is unending. The point is, the moment these self-doubts start coming in your mind, they kill your preparation. Hello friends, my name is Anchit Garg. I'm co-founder of EduTap. In today's video, we would be talking about the profile of selected candidates in RBI Grade B 2021 exam. And through this video, I want to dispel some of the notions, wrong notions, the misconceptions that are there, that might be there in your mind and might be irritating you. Let's start, and before I start, I want to request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you have not subscribed to. You can also join our Telegram channel for some free content. The link of this Telegram channel is given in the description of this video. So let's start. First, I want to tell you about the data set. So the analysis is done on the profile of 167 RBI selected candidates this year, right? So all this analysis is based upon the data, the profile of these 167 selected candidates. The first parameter that we are going to discuss is educational qualification. This is a very common question. I am not from a finance background, I am not from a commerce background. Can I clear this exam? The answer is in front of you. 104 engineers cleared this exam. Right. We are a country of engineers. I remember a famous joke when I used to be in Bangalore during my initial years when I started my career. There used to be a joke that if you're traveling in a bus and you ask engineers to raise their hands, not only 90% people would raise their hands, but even the conductor and the bus driver would raise their hand. That is the amount of engineers our country is producing. But the good point is that even then, a lot of intelligent people, a lot of good people are going towards engineering, and the result we can see that, right, all the good people are able to crack this exam. 104, wow, right. But apart from that, we can see MBAs 12, Arts 9, Commerce 14, even BSc, MSc Science background 19, Bachelor of Computer Applications, MCA, Master in Computer Applications 4, and then there are some others from pharma, architecture, etc., etc., etc. So the point is, first of all, doesn't matter if you're not from a commerce or a finance background, you can still crack this exam, especially if you're an engineer, right? But I mean, jokes apart, I think the background doesn't matter. Yes, you will have an edge if you are from a science or if you are from a commerce or a finance background. But I think the point is that how much effort you can make, because the exam is more of a generic exam. It doesn't test your in-depth knowledge about finance or economics. Then coming to the work experience, again, very common query. I am a fresher. Freshers think that RBI recruits only experienced candidates. Experienced candidate thinks, how would they justify that they have been working in IT, they have been working in CBI, how would they justify going to RBI? So people have their own set of doubts, right? So here if you see, people having work experience between 0 to 1 years is 28, 1 to 2 years is 27. People having, I would say, relevant work experience, which is really something 2+, right? I would not say this is a relevant work experience. You work for a 3 months, 6 months in an organization, you would not have even completed your training. How can we call it a work experience? This is something I would call it a genuine work experience between 2 to 5 years, 51 people, and 5+ years, 16 people. So total of 124 out of 167 people had work experience, and this is near about 70%. Now this figure might show us that 70% people who are getting selected are having work experience. So work experience are being preferred. But guys, I would like to tell you 2 points. First is, here specifically, I don't consider it as a work experience. Even this, I don't consider it as of a much of a work experience that an esteemed organization like RBI would consider, right? And even if we take into account all of them as something relevant work experience, the point I want to make is that work experience relevant? you will find a lot of people from IT background, pharma background, sales background, marketing background who are getting selected here. So I don't think that if they are considering work experience, they would consider work experience in an IT organization to be much relevant for them, right? So this number might show you something, right? But I think there is another way to look at it. Even 30% freshers or people not with work experience got selected. And again, I would say, I think there are a lot of people with work experience who apply to this kind of job rather than people who are freshers. So that also kind of makes it more skewed towards the experienced candidates. Next, gap years. Again, the most common question and most irritating for the aspirants. I'm having gap years. They are literally demotivated. They feel that this is the only thing that would kill their chances. Otherwise, they are fully ready. Guys, trust me, it's your effort, and having gap years or not having gap years does not impact your selection. You can see from this data, 47 out of 167 people had gap years, which is near about 30% people had gap years. And out of this 47, 14 had gap years without experience, right? It means 14 people had gap years. They were not doing after anything. They were not doing anything after graduation, right? So 14 had gap years without experience. Rest had work experience, then they had gap years. So we have all kind of people getting selected, right? And gap years less than 2 years is 14, between 2 to 3 years is 15, 3 to 4 years is 19, 4 to 5 years is 5, 5 plus years is 4. I know a person who has even gap years of around 9 years. Mr. Reddy from Hyderabad. After graduation, he didn't join any job. He was preparing for various exams, and I think he cracked this exam in an age of around 29 or 30, right? So I think gap years is also about is all about justification. You might be having a gap years due to marriage. You might be having a gap years due to child rearing. You might be having gap years because you were preparing for UPSC. I think the trick lies in being honest. Those people are fair enough to understand your problems. Be honest. Even if you have made some foolish mistakes due to which you are having these gap years, just accept that. But at the same time, tell them that from that you have learned and now you tend to rectify your mistakes, right? UPSC background. One of the most talked about things these days after the exam has become descriptive. 54% had UPSC background. Now this numbers kinds of tells us that UPSC candidates are being preferred. First of all, they are not being preferred. I think it is their preparation which is giving them an edge. But again, I would like to tell you that out of these 54% candidates, lot of them had prepared for UPSC for less than 1 year, right? So I don't think that with less than 1 year of preparation for UPSC, they had done so much of studies that which you cannot do, right? And whatever they would have studied in 1 year, I think that the relevant part which is useful for them for RBI would be hardly a 3-4 month study. So I think उन्होंने किया है, उन्होंने descriptive लिखा है, पढ़ा है, आप भी कर सकते हैं. It's all about that you start making effort, right? But yes, on the other hand, there were some serious aspirants. I know 2 people who cleared RBI had even cracked UPSC. One has become an IPS officer from Maharashtra, I think, and there is another one. So those people are generally having an edge. Those people are generally having great chances to clear RBI. Those who have really committed themselves, those who have really prepared for 3-4 years for this exam and have reached stages like interview or something, right? But overall, I think it's all about effort. उन्होंने किया है 1 साल effort, 6 महीने किया है effort. आप अब कर सकते हैं और एक relevant way में कर सकते हैं जो कि आपको RBI के लिए 100% काम आएगा. Number of attempts. Now, this looks like a graph of a stock exchange in a recession-prone economy. In first attempt, 68 people have cleared. In second attempt, 47 people have cleared. In third attempt, 23. Fourth attempt, 17. And fifth attempt, 11. So it seems that your chances to clear this exam decreases as you keep on giving more number of attempts. But I think it's not about the attempts. It's more about the serious attempts. I know 2 people here who have cleared the exam in 4th attempt here, but it was their second serious attempt, right? So most of the people who have cleared exam, they have cleared either in their first, second or third serious attempt. It's all about serious attempt. तो अब जितने भी attempt दें, 3 attempt at least serious दें, I think you will be able to make it, or you will be able to gauge that this is not your cup of tea. Next is age. At what age people are clearing this exam? So at 22 years, the proportion is very less. Only 4 have cleared this exam. But I think the reason again here is that RBI is not a very common exam or something which is attracting the masses in the colleges. RBI exam is mostly given by the people in this age bracket. Ones who have worked for 2-3 years, especially in banking, and realize that no, they need to move on, they need to get on something special, or you have prepared for UPSC, then you realize that okay, now I'm 25, 26 years old, I need to find a backup, right? So people in this age bracket are the maximums who are giving this exam, and hence you would see that mostly people are getting selected from this age bracket, right? So here it keeps on increasing till 27. So 27 is something at which the maximum people have cleared this exam, and then it keeps on decreasing from here. And this is something I think which is due to relaxation. Some people have cleared in 31, 32 and 33 years, right? But the earlier you clear this exam, obviously, just compare if somebody is clearing 22 and somebody is clearing 33. I mean, what are the promotion opportunities you would be getting as compared to him? So the earlier you clear, the more chances of you getting promoted to the highest level, right? I mean, a person joining at 33, I think he would never think of becoming a deputy RBI governor, whereas person joining at 22 might think so. Now, what about you, right? After seeing this video again, what you would be doing is you would try to see that, okay, I'm having this qualification, I'm having this background, I'm having this age, what are my chances? But that's a wrong way to perceive things. I think you need to take care of 2 things. First is make an honest effort. It all depends upon how much serious you are, how much determined you are, and how much a directed approach you take, right? I see people just wasting time on reading something which is not at all useful for the exam. And the second thing which I think matters is, especially with respect to your apprehensions related to interview, I'm having gap years, would they reject me? I'm having this, would they give preference to me? That be honest in an interview. That is what matters. I think they are far more experienced than your age itself. They know what you're saying and what you mean. So being honest in the interview is something that you need to learn. Be honest and work upon your knowledge. Your knowledge will reflect in the interview. And when you are being honest, they will understand that yes, this guy is having knowledge, this guy is having capability, he's being honest, he can do wonders for our organization. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. I hope you will be able to understand that all the misconceptions that are coming in your mind are just stopping you from achieving your goal. Otherwise, you should be roaring towards your goal. You should be ready to achieve your goal without thinking about these obstacles. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.